It's the Big News Show. With me, of course, Ben Bailey. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Big News Show episode number 4. We've got a lot of great stuff lined up for the show tonight. You guys are going to love it. It's going to be a great time. After all, it is the Big News Show. We've got the lovely and talented Miss Emma Gleeson here, as usual. Also, Sparky the dog, Sparky the Wonder Mutt in the house. Don't know if he's going to come in. Probably not, but we'll hear him, I think. We got new guy Kieran is back behind the bar. He's not throwing up anymore, so that's good. We're going to go live from that bar, Vic's Bar. We're going to chat about stuff. We're going to talk about some things like we do. We're going to get some sage advice from the wise old man on the mountain. I'm going to fight myself at some point, it looks like. We're going to dip into some weird, wacky Wednesday weekly world news with Emma. We're going to hear some original music from me, a little jam session thing that I recorded for you guys. Again, we're going to take viewer questions. We're going to do a movie quotes. We're going to do Sunday. It's going to be awesome. Because, why is it going to be awesome? Because it's the Big News Show. Let's do this. Welcome to the Big News Show. We are live from Vic's Bar, right here in Triple B Studios, having a chat. Welcome to the show, you guys. This portion of the show brought to you by someone, maybe at some point. I'm not sure which, but or who it might be. But I think that's a great place to have a little sponsor. Live from Vic's, brought to you by, nice. I don't know, Stella. Are you going to acknowledge me finally? I've been advertising for you for more than 2 years at this point, Stella. Please become a sponsor. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are live here at Vic's. We're talking about stuff. We're feeling good about the new way that we're kind of going at the show. We're hoping to not have the issues that we've had in the past. I have, again, spent about 100 hours in this room trying to work the stuff out, and I think we're in good shape. I'm not going to count any chickens before they hatch. I will juggle them, folks, but I will not count them. Nice. So we're going to do what we can do, and we're going to have fun. I need to remember that this show is about having fun and you guys having fun. Yeah. It occurred to me that watching me have a nervous breakdown every Wednesday night is probably not that relaxing for you guys at home. Like, oh, should we tune in and watch Ben fall apart again? Because of some crazy issues. So, yeah, we're kind of going at things a different way. We jump right to the bar here. Mm-hmm. I, of course, am Ben Bailey. I am here with the lovely and talented Miss Emma Gleeson.
Hi, guys.
And you can't see him right now, but I can show him to you. It's new guy Kieran. He's no longer vomiting. He's feeling well. Yeah. He's here. He's alive.
Hey, folks. How's it going?
We had a little stutter there with the camera, but we'll go back and edit that one out. So Kieran's back. We're here in the studio. We are having a great time already. We've been laughing. We've been we keep coming up with these, great conversation topics and then having to stop ourselves.
Not on purpose. We're just talking.
Not on purpose. We're just chatting. We're like, stop talking. Write that down and then stop talking about it.
Save it for the show. Save it for the show.
But it's hard. It's like when you
when you have natural conversation.
When you have natural conversation and it's flowing and it's good, you don't want to stifle it, right? Because it's like you don't want to interrupt the flow. Yeah. But so that's what we've done for you guys already today. We have interrupted the flow 8 different times, and we hope that we can get it going again. But before we get to any of that, we're going to do something. Before we get to any of that, we're going to do something that I know you guys really like to have early in the show, and that is we are going to drive that cab. Nice. So take a drink of your drink, folks. It's a cash cab drive-by. Those of you who have not seen the show before, this is the part of the show where we all raise our beverages in a toast to us, because we just made it through a shitstorm. And we did it with smiles on our face at least once a week. So cheers, everybody. It's the first cash cab drive-by of the show, and it wouldn't be complete if I didn't do this.
Woo!
Drive by.
Ben was just
drink
doing
your drink.
Some fantastic dancing there.
Do you know if do you think they could pick up the subtle sarcasm in your Like, I know you're saying it's fantastic dancing, but if you were at a club and you saw me doing that, would you be like, "Oh, I want to get with that dude"?
No, I'd be, well,
like, I need to. Who let that guy in here?
well, I think I would think that you were having fun and not caring.
Oh, it's not. See, now that is the important part right there.
I mean, you
It's
didn't
very
have.
wholesome. I'd run.
Kieran,
Kieran
I
would
saw
run.
him. He started to run just now. He looked at the door and he decided to stick it out. But yeah, that's what dancing is supposed to be about, right? Not caring.
Yeah.
But if you see someone dancing really badly, you're like, I kind of feel like they should care. It's all about not caring and having fun. But then you're like, oh, like Elaine on Seinfeld, her bad dance. If you remember that, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I don't know anyone who actually dances that poorly, though.
Oh, I do.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were saying you do for a second.
No,
I've seen you dance.
I know people who dance badly and think their dancing is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they
I'm not
nearby?
called-
Can we bring them in and cue up the drive-by? Like, all right, let's see it, man. Like they're just really bad. Like they don't have rhythm, or they.
It's more like, she had a bit of rhythm, but the movement was crazy.
Now we know it's a woman.
It's
We're
more
narrowing
like
this
that.
down. We're going to find out who it is.
It's not a woman, actually.
Oh, okay. You said she just to throw a
No,
cover.
no,
it was a blind.
No, the way that Elaine does.
Okay, sorry. It's like, wow, you're slick. You're working a little. You're covering your tracks. You said she, yeah, but I was misleading you. Yeah, I used to like to dance, man. I haven't done it in ages. Like actually gone. I mean, obviously now. I've done some dancing in this room. I'll be honest with you guys. I've had a couple of I have torn it up in here at 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
some footloose moments.
I'm not going to call them that because I feel good about what I did. No offense, Kevin Bacon. You were fantastic. Shit's a little dated at this point,
It wasn't angry dancing?
Oh, yeah, it was angry dancing.
Oh, yeah?
Well, one of them was angry. One of them was just kind of let loose. I have a few. Once in a while, I have a nice little groove down here when I need it because I'm working and something comes on and I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to break this down.
I do that in the kitchen in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Everyone should be doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone should be dancing a little bit.
I did a bit before the show. It's
You
good.
did?
It gets your blood pumping and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good song comes on or you have it in your head. So
Makes you
put it
feel
on.
alive, mate. Move around a bit. Dance a little bit. But yeah, so I shared my music album with a friend of mine. And he loved it. He was very into it. And I was really happy about that because he's like a music guy. And he likened it. And he's like the third person who's compared my stuff to this other band, Queens of the Stone Age, who are a big band. And they have and I never listened to them that much. I knew a couple of their hits,
Yeah.
But so I started listening to them and I was like, holy shit, these guys are great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they rock. They're
Nice.
awesome. And this one song came on, and I just had I had a dance fit. It was more like something that happened to me than something I did. You know what I mean? When you have one of those.
That
and
sounds like a footloose moment.
It was a great moment, and there was definitely some anger coming through.
Yeah.
And I love the song. It's a great song, and and I love the name as much as I love the song. It's called "Give the Mule What He Wants." And it's one of their earlier albums, and it's like, man, it just rips. It's great.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah, so but that was very different from the stuff that I do for the Cash Cab Drive-By. That is deliberately a very weird and crazy, over-the-top kind of a dance. That doesn't mean I wouldn't do it in a club. I would, because I don't care.
Yeah. That's the most fun.
Speaking of music, I learned something today.
Kieran, I think we're gonna have to make a graphic. Kieran learned something today, and that sounds like a segment to me. What did you learn today, Kieran?
I didn't know that harmonicas could come in different keys.
Yeah, I have the friends. I often have friends come over, we jam, and there's a couple of guys usually that are like, I don't play music. I can't. I'm not musically inclined. I can't play the guitar like you can play the guitar, whatever. I'm like, well, but keep in mind, I spent 15,000 hours practicing. That's why I can do it. Nobody can just do it.
Yeah.
Right? But so it's intimidating. And these guys always feel like they can't play, or they've already decided that they're not good at it and whatever. So I always direct them toward harmonicas. because it's a little known fact that harmonicas come in different keys. And if you have the harmonica of the right key for the song that you're playing along with in your hand and in your mouth, you can't play a wrong note.
Yeah.
So if you got the right harp, play away. You're not going to throw anybody off, and you can learn a lot about playing music and playing along with other musicians that way. So harmonica is a great place to start if you're going to get into music, and you're afraid that you suck.
That was always me. I actually had somebody tell me I sucked.
Oh my God,
my
Kieran,
that's
that's
eighth
terrible.
grade band teacher. Yeah, he literally was like, "Kieran, you suck." I was a drummer. I did percussion. I did, the cymbal, and I guess my timing was a little off. But he was a little
What? How old were you when this happened?
This is the 8th grade, so I was like 13.
In 8th grade, your music teacher told you that you sucked.
Yeah, my band teacher.
You could have been like, at this point, it's your fault.
I know. I was going to say that's
if I
on
suck,
him.
it's because you suck. You're the one who's supposed to be teaching me, you asshole.
Right.
I had the same thing. Now that you say it, I had the same thing. Very similar. I was made to sing. It was chorus. I was made to sing like everyone else. I wasn't singled out.
Right.
But it was like, okay, it's coming around, and you have to sing when it comes to you. And I was terrified.
You had to do a solo?
Yeah, you had to sing on your own. You had to sing a verse by yourself.
Oh.
And there was like one kid that could sing who had like been taught how to sing already and had taken lessons. It's like, and everyone else was like petrified. And then when it came around to me, it was some Beatles song. I think you know what song it was? I think it was Maxwell's Silver Hammer. Do you know that song?
Yes.
I've never heard that one.
It's about a guy murdering people with a fucking hammer, and our bang bang Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon her head. It's the whole song is someone getting murdered with a hammer. More and more, one person after another. I'm like, why are we singing this in 6th grade chorus? This is horribly violent.
You were thinking that at the time?
I was thinking that at the time. Like, this is a bad choice.
I never thought about the words so much because it was just
right. It's just a song, and it might be
Pepper's
metaphor for something else or a part of the movie. I don't know, but I just thought it was really weird. We all did. We're like, what the hell are we singing about? And then we all had to sing a certain part. And when it got to me,
about the murder.
Yes. Yeah, we had to sing a confession to a murder. That's not true, but
you sing this murder detail, and then you'll sing this murder detail.
I killed him. I say I killed that man. What'd you use? A hammer. I told you 100 times a hammer.
A silver hammer.
A silver hammer. But so I sang. I tried to sing, petrified.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, you shouldn't sing."
Oh my God.
Basically, I'm like, you just made me how about some constructive criticism or some instruction ahead of time or
And nothing ruins a voice and makes it go off key like pressure.
Yeah, totally. None of us had ever sang before.
That's
it was shitty.
Cool.
It's a very similar.
Well,
it makes you wonder what these people's motivation. If you're going to be a teacher and that's the way you're treating the kids,
you guys had some crappy.
You're there for the wrong. You're there for the wrong reasons, because you had no other choice, or because you want to make kids feel shitty.
Yeah, I volunteered for choir. It wasn't a prerequisite,
we had to do it. It was mandatory.
But none of us got singled out, ever.
Wow,
so.
We totally did. Kieran and I had it rough, man.
I think that the bad teachers, though, they give, they make all the good teachers seem better by comparison.
They make them shine.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have, if you were a teacher, to have some horrible asshole like that in the room next to you.
Yeah.
You think this is bad? Go over to Johnson's room. You're gonna get smacked in there.
Oh dear.
I think it's time to take a viewer question.
Oh.
Viewer questions, folks. It's a portion of the show where we answer questions from viewers. I didn't need to explain it, but show's going to be going out podcast style, so we're trying to keep the audio flowing.
Nice. Speaking of podcast style, before we get into that, I think one of the viewer questions is going to be for people who are listening to the podcast for the first time.
Oh, fantastic.
We've been referencing the show
right.
and stuff so far, and they, a lot of people are going to be coming to this not knowing what that is.
Right.
Not knowing that we did a live show for starting at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, working from home.
A live streaming show.
Live streaming show. We did 100 of them.
Yeah.
Whew, I still can't believe that.
It's crazy.
But yeah, that's what we refer to when we say the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That.
All right. So twice a week, we would come down here as the pandemic started and do a live show to try and keep people's spirits up and entertain them. And then when we thought it would be for a short period of time.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, we'll do this for like a couple of months.
We were broadcasting to 4 social media platforms all at once.
Yep, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at once.
With all the technical difficulties that go with that.
Oh my God, it's nightmarish. It almost killed the tech guy. Thank God we had someone working on that other than myself.
We did not. If you cannot pick up the sarcasm in Ben's voice. Well, we had another personality working on that.
I think there was more than one other. I realized I think I have like split or multiple personality disorder from that show.
Right.
There was a lot of people came out that I didn't know were in there.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot. There were a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. Ben was doing improving stand-up for like 40 minutes or so a show, and and doing a lot of your
sometimes
old
more
material. And
sometimes I remember you just being like, babe, hey, babe,
yeah,
we're 108 minutes in.
Yeah, there was
Not
plenty
quite
of
that.
times
Like,
I'm like,
holy shit, really? I guess I needed to vent.
It's all right. You don't have to keep finding new things to do stand-up about. But for 100 shows, which is just astounding. So
thanks, babe.
But now we're making things a little bit easier on ourselves.
We're going a little bit easier, and we figured that you guys, part of what you like is the conversation and the hang, the kind of the hang vibe, and that makes things a lot easier on us. Doing that live to all the platforms at the same time, I kind of felt like I was fighting myself a lot of the time.
Okay, so now those of you on the podcast.
Yeah, perfect timing to like play something, but there's good audio in there. If you guys want to see what the video is, if you're listening to the podcast and you want to see what these video bits are that you're missing, go to YouTube. Go to Ben Bailey Comedy on YouTube. Subscribe when you get there, and enjoy. Like right now, you're missing a nice image of me beating the crap out of myself in a boxing match. And I think I look pretty ripped. This was like pretty late when I did this, but I think I'm looking all right there. Who's your money on, you guys? Lefty or righty? Oh, double shot.
Righty, so I think right.
I think whoever goes down in this fight, this is going to end like Rocky 3. There's no question.
I haven't seen that one.
No, it's brandy new,
So I'll have
folks.
to watch to the end of the clip.
Yeah, they just keep going. Rock'em, sock'em, bends. Beating the crap out of each other for eternity. It's amazing how what this little segment is such a metaphor for my life. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to business.
That's great. Cool.
But yeah, so we did a lot of those shows, and so there's a lot of stuff. If we're referring back, it's to that, which is I think what you were saying, right, babe? And there, for some reason, we just noticed that episode number 8. And by the way, before I even talk about that, I've since we started working on this show and putting this show out, I've gone back and looked at some of those, and just been like, oh my God. Like I think we're having trouble on this, or things don't look just how I want them on this. That was some pretty bare bones. You know, it's just me standing in front of a blue curtain, a poorly lit blue. The curtain was lit well. I wasn't lit that well.
Well, yeah.
But it worked, and it was fun. And
yeah, it was necessity. Everybody was suddenly just locked down in their homes, and
yeah, like literally locked down. I was talking about that after hockey last night. Some of us were sitting around like, remember what? Like, we couldn't go out of the house. Like they were like, don't go anywhere. stay in. It's hard to even remember that now and remember what that felt like.
I would spray down grocery bags for like hours.
Yeah, you'd bring anything in.
Yeah.
We would get it delivered, and then we'd leave it outside, setting for a while before we brought it in. But yeah, I'm glad we're through those times.
That was the one advantage of having COVID then, was I wasn't so worried about the stuff coming in. I'm like, I've got it already.
Right. You're like, yeah, just bring the eggs in. I'm starving. But babe, COVID, you're like, I have it. Give me the fucking eggs, man. Somebody was complaining. I swear when I talk and people that are like cash cab only fans have no idea. And I saw somebody said something about me having a potty mouth or something. There's a comment today.
Yeah.
And then someone else was like, oh, I'm giving that person a hard time about wielding their righteousness or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel good now that you know? It's nice when people defend me. I feel good about that when that happens. Because it's hard not to take that stuff personally. Any sort of criticism, it's like, this is just me. I'm not a TV show or a character on a show. Like, it's just me that you're talking about. So criticism can be tough to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you hear one person say something, you might, kind of naturally think that it's everybody as well. So like when you have a opposite opinion, it's definitely, reassuring,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know. So you know what we did, and this is for that woman who said that partially. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I couldn't help it. Early on in my stand-up career, I had some people would say that to me. Like, you say fuck too much.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I know. It's been a problem since I was in 5th grade.
Oh, really?
Like, this is nothing new. Yeah, oh my God, I was terrible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, I remember after a hockey game, I broke my collarbone, so I couldn't play, so I was in the stands. And there's a woman who was sitting a couple rows behind me after the game. She goes, Ben Bailey, you have the foulest mouth of anyone I've ever heard. I was like, and in my head, here's how I knew I was in trouble with this. In my head, I thought, what the fuck? Where else would I think it? Obviously, I thought it in my head. But it's always been a thing. And
I think
I'm kind of like, you know what? They're just words, and being a comedian and is very much about saying what you want to say, and like, they're just words. And I am a firm believer in the fact that until no words are really harmful or mean anything, there's no solution. Like, you can't censor people. Crackle, crackle. You can't censor people, right? If people are being censored, who's making the rules about what you can say, right? And then so there's just a huge gray area. The only way to deal with it is that everything is okay to say.
And you know what?
The worst shit ever is okay to say because it's just words.
Interestingly, words start out as being problematic, and then over time they become more and more part of the vernacular.
Right. And they often will like take on a different meaning of sorts through that time, right?
Yeah, often.
Yeah.
But often they lose their sting, like, words that are like bloody in Australia.
Right. That was a really, really bad word, right?
Yeah, and in England, and I saw something on TV the other night, and the guy was like, "Oh my God, don't swear at me," and blah blah blah, and use that language, and you'll be thrown out. And I'm like, "What did he say?" And I was like, "Oh, he said bloody."
Bloody.
And when I was a kid, if someone said that at school, I remember going up to the teacher in 2nd grade and saying, Timothy said the B word.
The B word. Yeah. And the teacher was like, "Was it banana?"
Yeah, I swore. What word was it? It was the B word. Yeah.
And then they would have known that was bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he'd be
Because
in trouble for that.
I would think bitch.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Or
Right.
barbecue.
I didn't know that one. Or maybe I did, but about a dog.
Wouldn't have said. Oh, right, about a dog.
Yeah.
I remember I was walking my dog
My pop would say that.
in Washington Square Park once. My former dog, the Floof, the magic Floof and Floof, not Sparkle Bark, Floof and Floof. And this woman came up and said, "Is it a boy or a girl?" And
Just like that.
Yep. And I said, "It's a girl." And she said, "Oh, I like bitches very much." And I was like, I didn't take you for a gangster rapper.
Gladys is down with the bitches.
It was pretty funny. We had some good reactions to the Floof in the park. One day this dude was like, she looks like a little furry dairy cow, yo. She looked like a little perfectly furry little dairy cow.
Yeah.
Because she had she had very long fur. She was a border collie, but her markings were like a cow, and I never saw it until that guy said that
That's
day. I'm like, oh my
funny.
God, she really does.
I would have been very tempted to say when she said, "Is it a boy or a girl?" It's a dog.
It's a dog, lady. What's it to you? Why? Why don't you find out, see for yourself? There's any number of great responses to that.
Yeah.
Mind your own business.
But,
Chappelle used to have this funny bit about his dog was misbehaving and he smacked it in the ass, and this woman said, "Hey, you can't just hit a dog like that for no reason." And he was like, "Bitch, I have my reasons." And just left her standing there. I don't know if he really said it. I just thought it was a funny response. Because I've always been I hate it when people like try to tell you what you need to do for your dog.
oh,
You know, you're like,
yeah.
I got it. Like, I care. Trust me, I care. I'm
Yeah.
doing the best. Oh, look at the
Speaking of
timing.
which,
Sparkle Park. Can you guys hear him? Sparky is a howling, folks, and you know what that means. We interrupt this broadcast to inform you that Sparky is currently howling in the kitchen living room area. I repeat, Sparky the dog is currently howling in the kitchen living room area. Now, this. Yeah, my a former roommate had a friend who would come over and he would talk to the floof and pet the floof and like tell me what I needed to do. He'd be like, "Oh, she's unhappy. She seems really unhappy." I'm like, "Well, right now she's taking cues from you and your really weird vibe and like how you're whispering about her." Like, I'm like, "Dude, I think this dog is smarter than you are. She's a very smart dog."
yeah.
But he was like, she's really dry. You need to start putting some oil in her food, man." I was like, "What kind of oil?" And he's like, "Just some kind of oil." I'm like, "What kind of oil?" And he's like, just some oil, to help moisturize her skin. I'm like, "What kind of oil do you put in your dog's food?" And he's like, "I don't have a dog." I'm like, "Well, you know what? Well, shut your hole then." Like you don't even know what oil you're suggesting. And the reason she's acting that way is because of you. Like, dogs take their cues from you. If we went up to Sparky and we're like, like, he's going to react very differently than if we're like, "Hey, Sparky, let's go." They take their cues from us. And, that's why I could kind of get behind that bit, is because it's like, don't tell people how to.
It's so insulting.
It's pretty insulting.
Yeah.
Although, it's not a far jump to get to like watching other people, how they treat their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you see someone being like really nasty to a little kid, oh my God, it's the hardest thing for me to like not do something.
Well, that's, yeah.
But they say don't, because number one, you don't know the situation. Number two, the kid's going to get it worse. If you did something to the parent who's being like abusive or awful, that's going to be worse for the kid later.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but I see somebody like being really nasty to a little kid. I'm like, if you had any idea what I'm imagining doing to you right now, that might be enough to stop you. It's just awful. I don't know how people are like that. But so you could easily compare that to, telling people how to treat their dogs.
It's quite different, someone being nasty to a kid, to like this guy telling you to put like oil in the dog's food. He wasn't.
No. I was talking about the Chappelle's bit about smacking the dog.
Oh, right.
Smacking the dog in the ass, because who knows what it did.
Yeah.
It's still a far cry. It's a big difference. Like, I had a friend who was like, after he was comparing having a dog to having kids.
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I have a dog." He was talking to this other guy. "Yeah, well, I have a dog." And the guy's like, "Really? Are you comparing having a puppy to having a baby? Like, you have no idea what you're talking about." And then the other guy, eventually, he did actually have a kid, and he actually went back, and I got to witness both.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm an idiot. I can't believe I said that. I have a baby now, and my life is like over. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just not even in the same."
Yeah.
zip code as having a dog.
Yeah.
But having a dog, it can feel very overwhelming having a puppy. So
How do you
oh
feel?
God, yeah.
How do you feel about people saying, "Oh, my child," and then you're like, "Oh, like how old?" And they're like, "Oh, my little border collie, like she's like 7 years old, my little baby," and you're like, I mean, I love all the dogs I've ever had, and I've had plenty,
right.
but like they're not, as much as you want them to be, they're not a human.
So wait, what's your question?
like, how do you feel about people calling their dogs their babies? Like,
Yeah, I feel like those people probably should have had kids.
right?
Or so like they kind of wanted them.
Yeah.
Some.
And I don't know. I mean, I get it. You really love a dog.
Yeah.
You really love a dog. When you've had a dog for a while, especially, and they're like part of the family, and they're like, these are my kids. And then but yeah, it's kind of insulting to kids
Right.
and to parents, I guess, saying,
Yeah.
these are my children.
Yeah.
And what about the dog's mom? The dog's mom was like, what? Hold on. That is my child, not yours. You stole it from me.
Yeah. What I found funny when we first got Sparky were people asking us if we adopted him.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
No, he's actually ours.
Clearly, I didn't give birth to him.
Did
so,
you adopt him?
like,
Nope. No, we had him. He was manufactured. Like, what are the other possibilities with a
Yeah.
dog?
Like, and I think they're trying to ask.
Oh, that's
like,
hilarious, babe. That's a really good point.
they're trying to ask if I rescued him, but like,
Is he adopted? No, he's He's our biological child.
He's my baby.
We all started off as dogs. He's my baby, Sparky baby. He's my Sparky
Oh.
baby.
Yeah, no, did not carry the dog for 9 months and give birth to it.
Sometimes I think he thinks that.
Oh my! No, he thinks he's my boyfriend.
Sparky thinks that he and Emma are a couple, and I'm just like this guy.
You're
He's like,
the
man, if I could just
interloper."
get rid of this guy. Why is this guy around here?
Oh.
He's coming. He likes me more these days, though.
Yeah, because you feed him on occasion.
Because I feed him.
I do the majority of the feeds, but
Majority of the feeds. Partially because we're doing your choice of foods for feeds, which are good, but
and a lot because you were on the road all the time.
right. And a dog will bullshit you.
Oh my goodness.
A dog will look at you like, is someone going to feed me? And then you're like, oh, sorry, buddy. You feed him. Like, wait a minute. Did you feed the dog? Yeah. Oh, great. Me too. Little bastard had 2 dinners again. I think he's only gotten us once or twice.
Yeah, once.
But he'll get you.
He's almost gotten us many other times.
He can really sell it. He knows where he's supposed to sit when it's time for his
Yeah, he does
for the
his
meals.
perfect behavior.
Yeah, he just goes and says, "Oh, I'm ready for my dinner now."
My friend's dog will pretend to go to the bathroom because they know that they'll get treats on the way out, on the way
Oh.
back in.
On the way back in,
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh,
goodness.
sure.
So
Sparks
she'll
will do
run
that.
over, she'll crouch like she's going, but she's not going.
So smart.
Sparks does the same thing. If you start giving him treats when he comes in, he's like,
Right.
"I think I'll go out again.
Yes.
I know how this ends."
Yeah.
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 You got to draw that line.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sparky, I need to show you guys on the Shopify site. There is a new item. Last week, we put the site up, and just so you guys know, this Shopify catalog of things it's Ben Bailey Comedy on Shopify, and it's all these items that have the big new show logo on them and stuff. And now Kieran's scrolling up and down. It still looks the same as it did last week. You can see, though, right there, last week someone said, if you make a Sparkle Bark hoodie, I will buy it. Well, put your money where your
Oh
mouth
my
is, lady,
goodness.
because there's a Sparkle Bark hoodie right there on the...
Wow. What is that picture?
It's a picture where he's laying like that on the ottoman with his
Aw.
feet crossed, and it says Sparkle Bark.
Nice.
So you guys request it, and I deliver it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Kowalski, your big new show underwear is still up
Yes.
there, to the right of the woman who smells something but doesn't know where it is. Maybe
Or
it's
what it
maybe it's
is.
Kowalski's underwear she smells. I don't know. That explains the look on her face. But
she looks like someone's wronged her off camera.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. She's like mad at the cameraman. Was like, "Look over here, you dumb bitch." She's like, just I'm making a face and you guys can't see it.
Oh,
And
Sorry
they're
about
like,
that.
use that.
Yeah, use that shot. So if you look next to the Sparkle Bar hoodie, you guys, my manager is a great guy and a good friend. I love him. He's talking to me about how I need to put some clause on the website here, the Shopify page that's like states the terms of the company, like these products are what they are, and you can't sue me or whatever. Like, just some like little statement of like the quality of the goods and recourse in case there's some issues or whatever. And he says to me like only he can say to me. He goes, I don't think anybody's gonna sue you or anything. I mean nobody's gonna be like, your T-shirt killed my life. and I just thought that was so awesome. And so very Jonathan that I made a shirt that says your T-shirt killed my life because I think it's hilarious. So there's all those things. There's a lot of other stuff on the Shopify page here, you guys. All of it, if you guys buy any of this stuff, this is how we've worked in the charities to this. Any money that you guys spend on the site, some goes to us, some goes to Share Our Strength, which is a food that helps hunger issues here in the U.S. They're teamed up with No Kid Hungry as well. And they're like really smart. They take food from restaurants that have leftover food at the end of the night, and they take it to people nearby that need it. Awesome. Which is like amazing to me. It's like
so great.
They've been around for a while, but I remember when it was new, and I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that should have been happening because restaurants just throw away a ton of food,
and
like right down the block, there's like a shelter. Like, come on, man, we got to do better than this.
Yep.
We can't just throw away food when people down the street need it. So Share Our Strength embodies that idea. So
that's awesome.
Oh, and one other thing on the Shopify page before I switch back. The phone cases. Somebody last week said, hey, if you offered this phone case for this phone, I would buy it. And I was like, what do you mean? It's there in all different sizes. It wasn't. Now it is.
Oh, cool.
23 different sizes. It's going to fit every phone that you might have, unless you have like a Motorola StarTAC or one of those old like giant the first cell phones, like
the bricks.
They were like, you had to put it to your ear and then to your mouth in between. Hello? What? Because they were huge. But yeah, so there's a bunch of new stuff on the Shopify page there, and we might as well remind you guys that I have some upcoming shows at this point. I'm going to be out on the road doing shows again. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go to Oklahoma City.
Oh, this is true.
OK City, I'm coming your way tomorrow. Shows are Friday and Saturday at Bricktown Comedy Club, which I believe is located in Bricktown. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. I got my friend Jeffrey Baldinger is going to come. He's emceeing. He's coming from L.A. Haven't seen him in quite a while. And there's a guy from Seattle coming in. They said that's going to be the feature act, and it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait to just be out and be doing shows again. But I'm already like, okay, it's February and travel. I hope travel isn't an ordeal.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I got an email from United, and it was like, pre-choose your meals and get your first choice for your flights. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's a good idea, I guess. So I'm like choosing my meals, and then another email comes in. It's like, your flight has been canceled. I'm like, oh, shit. I didn't even order my chicken yet. So Oklahoma City, they canceled my flight. Your flight is canceled. And then, so I was on a flight from Newark to Chicago O'Hare to Oklahoma City, right? They just put me they changed it, and they put me on a flight to Denver. I'm like, And I was in business, and they put me in coach. So they were like, I hope this is good for you. Instead of flying business to Oklahoma City, you're flying coach to Denver. Like, no, guys, that doesn't work at all.
You could just catch a bus, right?
You know what, guys? Just let me know where you can get me, and I'll try to set up some shows in that. Like, come on, man. But to be fair, United, I did call. I got someone pretty quickly. Well, I did the callback thing. There was a long wait, and I always opt for that now. I was always suspicious in the beginning.
Yeah.
When they're like, yeah, you're going to be on hold for 20 minutes. Do you want us to call you back? Enter your number. I was always like, you're not going to call me back. I know what this is. But so now I do that. I opt for that every time, and that worked out really well. They called me back. They got me on the right flight. I'm going to still be going to Oklahoma City, which is good because that's where the shows are. But I am a little bit like, oh boy, here we go, the travel thing again.
Yeah.
Because so often it can be an issue.
So.
But yeah, so I've got Oklahoma City coming up. Then I have St. Louis after that, 18th and 19th of February. Then I have a place called the Shore Club in Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey, which looks beautiful on the picture. You guys, yeah, and if you guys want to go to my website, it is therealbenbailey.com. There are tickets for all this stuff right there. So you can scroll. I don't know if you can scroll, Kieran, but if you do, you'll see there's tickets, links to buy tickets for all these upcoming shows.
And if one of these shows doesn't suit you, that little thing that popped up at the beginning, you can put your email in and put your zip code in so that we're not bothering you with all emails about all of the shows. We'll just bother you with the ones about the shows in your area.
Yeah, when I'm going to be close to you. Yeah, because I think people are, it's good to explain that, babe, because I think people are a little bit like, I'm not putting my zip code in there.
I am,
like,
yeah. I mean, and you can sign up without doing that. That's fine.
Yeah, totally. But if you do that, then, you'll get an email ahead of time knowing when I'm coming to your area. It's been pretty handy. I was able to notify a lot of people around Oklahoma City about that. So, yeah, Oklahoma City this weekend. 2 weeks from then, 18th and 19th of February, I'll be at the Funny Bone in St. Louis in Westport Plaza. Fun place. I've been a bunch of times, but not in a while. Then I've got Zanies in Chicago in May. I feel like there's something in between that I'm forgetting, but a bunch of new dates up there, guys. That we're constantly updating them at therealbenbailey.com, which is the site that you're looking at now. Go there, sign up for the email. You'll be notified.
DC Comedy Loft.
DC Comedy Loft, but that's not till July.
Okay.
DC Comedy Loft in July.
Ridley's, Royal Oak, Michigan.
Royal Oak, Michigan in November, and there's like 5 other dates that are pending. So we'll keep you guys posted about that stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, you have something that you'd like to get to, and I think I know what that something is.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done it yet. I think it's time to. It's weird. It's wild. It's wacky. It's Wednesday. It's worldly. I'm ahead of it now. It's Emma's Weird, Wild, Wacky Wednesday Weekly Worldly News. W this.
It's really interesting that this week my news stories are very apropos of what we've been talking about.
Oh, really?
There's
serendipity.
Yeah, there's one I didn't choose that was I came across a little while ago about food waste, which is really interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that is interesting.
And how Milan became one of the first major food cities in the world to set up a city-wide food waste policy. And
oh wow, that sounds really, really good.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, basically what they've done is they've set up a supermarket that is a kind of a reverse supermarket. Instead of going and buying stuff there, you go and you take your excess food there. So if you have leftovers of of any kind, stuff you're not going to eat or use, you go and you take it there, and they stock the shelves, and the stuff comes from.
Who pays the people? It's like a city-sponsored thing.
It's a city-wide thing.
So they work for the town.
Yeah, the city.
For the city.
Set it all up, and then and restaurants and other supermarkets. Anybody who has excess stuff that they were going to throw away, but that is fine, they'll stock the shelves with that, and then people come in who can't afford food or are food poor.
Right.
Or insecure, and they can just shop there like it's a supermarket that they can go to. And
sorry, I'm smiling. You said insecure. I'm like, you mean that in a financial sense?
Well, there's a term, food insecurity.
Yeah, I know. Right. But I'm like, I feel insecure. Just go in there like, I really don't like how my hair looks today. Could I have some grapes?
Yes, I think
that's what came into my head.
A little watermelon would really make me feel better.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty low down about these jeans, but a piece of that pizza might help.
Yeah,
that's what a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Wow,
of course
cool.
They manage who can come and do it, but a small. I think a small. It would be some investment from the city, but
Yeah, but it's
crime
going to
is
create
gonna
some
go
jobs,
down.
too. It's going to
Yeah.
create some
Yeah, you're
jobs.
creating jobs. Crime's going down. You don't have homeless people begging on the street all the time when they can go there and get fed. Like, it's going to make the
Right.
city nicer. And it's always
Some of them might work there. Like, if I was in that
Yeah, that'd be
situation,
cool.
I might be like, I'm going to get a job at that grocery store,
Yeah.
Or,
And-
although you might be like, I think I'm going to get a job at a real grocery store. I don't know. Is there
Whatever
a
the
picture that
case
goes
is.
along with this
No,
news
no,
item?
that's just one that
That's
I
just,
wasn't
like-
going to use today,
Oh,
but we were
right, okay.
talking about that. Yeah, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Way to go, Milan.
Yeah.
That probably happened a while ago, I would guess. Or maybe not.
It's pretty recent.
Pretty recent.
Yeah.
Cool. What a great
Yeah.
idea. I mean, we got to be smart about these things.
Yeah.
Be efficient about these things. There's no
Yeah.
reason for people to be starving anywhere,
Yes.
But I do get it. Like, people spend a lot of money on this food at a fine dining establishment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $100 a plate, and then, an hour and a half later, the homeless people are eating the same stuff. But
Right.
honestly, that shouldn't really bother anyone.
Yeah. But it's
Uh,
it's more
but-
about like
But
there
you
is
can almost feel the little,
food
the little,
waste. Like
The food
around
waste is
around
awful, yeah.
30% of Milan's would be food waste goes there. So it's like it's not food that Sparky's howling again.
I feel like they can hear that one. Wow. That was a long one.
Yeah.
Breaking news. We interrupt this show to let you, the listeners, know that Sparky the dog is currently howling. All right, I had to cut that short.
That's cool. But yeah, 33% of all food just is wasted. 1.3 billion metric tons per year.
Okay, hold on a second. What?
Jumping back to that.
33% of all food,
Yeah.
like worldwide,
Yeah.
is
And-
wasted.
Yeah. And people think that the majority of it comes from restaurants, but the majority of it actually comes from homes. It's like most of it is stuff people's.
Now I know why
are
Sparky was
throwing out.
howling. Because he was like, we don't waste anything. Because he eats anything we don't eat, Sparky eats it.
Yeah.
And don't think that's like bad, like we're giving him all kinds of junk. We're not. We just don't. If there's something that didn't get eaten, that becomes part of Sparky's food.
Yeah.
Like,
And if
we have
it's-
very, very little food waste.
And if it's not edible, it goes in the compost and doesn't go towards greenhouse emissions, and
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Wow.
It's cool.
What was the term again, or the number again? 1.3?
3 billion metric tons
1.3 billion metric tons.
worldwide every year.
That is astounding.
Yep. 33% of all food worldwide, 40% here in the US, which is pretty
Wow.
cray-cray.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. So
Billion. Like a billion is such a large number.
mm,
People don't realize how the difference between a million and a billion, and like just what a huge gap that is. It's hard to get your mind
yeah,
around it.
Yeah, it is.
And then from billion to trillion is like that again.
yeah. Yeah,
like-
it's like going from 100 to 1,000 is a big jump. It's
Yeah,
in the same way.
Like a billion is 1,000 millions,
Mhm.
right? So there's some breakdown of seconds. Like a million seconds is 11 hours. A billion seconds is 31 days or something like that.
Wow.
I think that's what it is.
I
Someone
think
that-
it's even more, but yeah, it's like a crazy
It's just that
disparity.
I wish I could remember. We should look it up because it just makes it
Makes the
so
point so
apparent.
clear. Yeah. Yeah.
1.3 billion metric tons.
Yep.
Good Lord.
It's insane, right?
You know, that makes me think though, like there's this fact that kind of astounds me all the time, and sort of humbles me in a way. The amount of matter inside the atmosphere of the Earth, including the planet and everything else,
Yeah.
never changes.
Right.
So that it's always the same amount. So it's just everything that's within changing and becoming
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else, right? So that 1.3 billion metric tons of wasted food is like it's still here
Yeah, yeah.
in some form.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it just always is like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be obvious, but it's like just sort of perspective altering kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're not putting it in spacecrafts and jettisoning it out into space.
thank God we're not doing that. It's like, all right, we've fucked up the oceans and the atmosphere here. Let's see if we can take space down with us too. Although, you know, space might be the ultimate solution for that.
Oh, yeah.
It is pretty endless.
Yeah.
And there's nothing out there. It wouldn't even decay. There's no air. That's what we need to do. We need to build a giant garbage chute that just sprays all of our trash out of it. The problem with that theory, right, is eventually there'll be nothing left. If everything in here is just changing all the time,
Right.
eventually we'll just shoot everything out into space. That's way ahead in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting deep. We're getting deep
We
into the
are.
shit, deep into the
All right.
garbage on this episode, you
You want
guys.
something a little lighter?
A little light, sure. I
Yeah.
think that was great. I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Maybe we need to take a quick trip to the beach, though, just to relax.
Okay.
Sit back and relax, everybody. Just enjoy the music. Enjoy the sounds of the surf. The Calypso band just started playing at the Tiki Bar. Just chill out, man. Relax. Everything's gonna be alright. It already is, man. Smoke a spliff and look out at the ocean. That's the key to life. I don't know who this is talking right now, but I like him. He's got a good voice. So what is this? Is this a news item?
Yeah, this is this is the
Just
news
kidding. I'm
item.
not going to do that again.
This is the
Sorry.
one of the two news items I did have planned.
Okay, great.
This is one from a while back that I never did, and I thought it'd be fun. It's about people making a big to do about their dogs.
Right.
And as a Chinese woman, she celebrated her dog's 10th birthday with a very extravagant affair.
Really?
She hired a team of drones.
A team of drones?
Yes, 520 of them.
520 drones. This is for her dog's birthday.
Yes, for a
Does he like? Does he have a thing about drones? Or like, how does she even know he's gonna like it? Some dogs would be like, ah, oh my God, run for your lives. You
This
know?
dog's definitely her baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Kieran already knows the story
Kieran,
too.
Yeah, Kieran's seen the video too.
Should
believe,
I?
if
Do we have a clip to throw to?
we do.
All right, let's
So
take
this
a look
is
here.
this is the dog here in the clip, and you'll see it again in a bit. And that's the drones up in the sky.
Oh wow, they're like did skywriting.
Yeah. They spelled
Whoa,
out.
What is that? That's very familiar. That symbol.
It's a dog in a box.
Oh right, yeah, of course, the
Well,
old dog in
her-
a box
Not
symbol.
any dog. Her dog in a box.
Written in the sky with drones.
Yep. Yeah, they arranged themselves
my God.
into shapes including the dog's likeness and a birthday cake. And they also spelled out the phrase, "Happy birthday to Doo-Doo."
The dog's name is Doo-Doo? Well, no wonder. She's trying to make up for it. You name your dog shit. You got to spend the whole life of the dog trying to make it feel okay about itself. This is my dog's shit. You call him shit? Yeah, but I give him fantastic birthdays every year. Like, it's incredible. Drones.
D-O-U,
Oh,
but
okay.
and I don't know how that's pronounced in
Doo-Doo.
in Chinese. I wonder if it's different, but yeah.
I'm going to bring that video back up here.
So yeah,
Pretty amazing. His 10th birthday. What's she going to do for 11? How's she going to top that?
I don't know, but they estimate she spent $15,700
15 grand?
to rent all those drones.
How many drones again? 520 drones or something?
Yeah, local authorities not aware of the event. They said if they had been, she would have needed to have a permit.
Of course.
for
Yeah.
it.
You can't fly one drone without a permit. Let alone 520.
Yeah.
And she's like, but it's Doo-Doo's birthday.
And that's their little celebration there with Doo-Doo. Doo-Doo turning 10.
Yeah, he looks
Sparky, don't
totally
get any ideas.
nonplussed. Like he couldn't give a fuck about those drones.
Oh,
Probably
so
scared of
funny.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Like dogs would be frightened. Sparky wouldn't like a drone. He'd bark at it and run.
I mean, dogs are scared of vacuum cleaners and, like, you know.
Oh, I used to do a bit about that.
Hmm.
Should we go to the Should I go to the comedy club for just a minute? real quick?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So, man, there's been all these stories in the news lately about kids getting attacked by dogs while waiting for the bus. I mean, it's like every other week there's another story about a kid got attacked by a neighborhood dog while waiting for the school bus. I thought, man, these kids, I don't know, people are all up in the air about what to do. How do we fix it? I'm like, the kids should just carry dustbusters, miniature vacuum cleaners, right? A giant dog's gonna come up like, oh, I'm gonna eat these kids, and then, woo, kid pulls out a dustbuster, and the dog, oh, hey, I didn't know you had a vacuum. I was gonna eat you, but now I'm terrified. So I'm just gonna leave now. That's the solution. If you want your kids to be safe, let them carry vacuum cleaners. Dogs will leave them alone.
By the way, that's how we're going to do that from now on. When a bit comes up in conversation, I'm going to step over to the club and do it for you.
Awesome.
But yeah, so Doo-Doo had one hell of a birthday.
Yep.
Drones in the sky. Imagine you're a young, who has 520 drones sitting around? Someone was like, oh my God, my investment in all these drones has finally paid off.
Yeah. I mean, the coordination. It'd probably have to be several companies getting involved at least.
Well, there's this crazy stuff happening with the drones now where
Mm.
they can program
Right.
a fleet of drones to fly in the sky and make these shapes. It's
Right.
amazing. It's really some pretty
Yeah.
cool stuff. I can't remember where I saw that, but it might have been one of your news items,
That's
babe. I don't think so.
Perfect for Doo-Doo.
It's perfect for Doo-Doo's birthday. He loves drones. And he's going to be 10, and I'm pretty sure 10 is the drone birthday for dogs.
Oh, dear.
Great story, babe.
Thanks, son.
Doo-Doo. Happy birthday, Doo-Doo.
Oh, the audio on the thing they were singing to Doo-Doo.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Do they sing Happy Birthday, too?
I don't know.
Some version? Or
I recognize the tune, but not the words.
I recognize the tune. It was Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh, shit. Blow it up. I can't believe it, you guys, but we are already an hour into the big news show.
Goodness.
Which is incroyable.
Yeah.
It went so quickly.
I never even
And
got
it's
to
been so fun.
to a question from the...
From the viewer questions?
Yeah,
Well, let's
yeah.
do it. We don't have to wrap up. We have time.
Okay.
I'll play this again. I love this. I love this viewer questions graphic. It's time for viewer questions, everybody. Brought to you by Viewer Questions.
Nice.
All right. So what's the question?
Okay, so the question was about when you started stand-up.
Oh, okay.
It's from Raphael Warrior Hamato
Raphael Warrior Hamato.
on YouTube.
Oh, what a great name that is.
He said...
Makes Ben Bailey seem very plain. Dude's middle name is Warrior. You're signing your kid up for a certain life if you you name them Warrior.
keep in mind people create their own names on these
Oh, that's a good point.
social media.
Good point, babe. All right, Raphael. What is his question about?
And his images are that of Raphael the Ninja Turtle.
Oh, right. There you go. It's a Ninja
Right.
Turtles reference.
Yeah.
Another movie I was cut out of. Or recast. Sorry, we always have this debate.
Okay. He says, when did you first start your comedy career?
I had an extra microphone in my shot there for a second,
Oh.
but luckily it's one of those.
Confused.
It's one of those vanishing microphones, so
Huh.
I could just take it away. So
Wow.
he says, when did I?
Raphael says, when did you start your comedy career?
Okay, Raphael, good question. Thank you for writing in. In
And I-
December of 1993 goes my bio. That's when I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved to California. It's a long and crazy story, which I don't think I should get into this late in the show
Right.
because it's like a 20-minute thing.
But I thought that kind of tied in with what you were talking about before with the swearing and stuff.
Oh, totally.
You did stand up first,
Yeah.
then you did Cash Cab.
Yep.
And continued to do stand up, and I think people know you from Cash Cab.
Yeah, so they're surprised when they come out and they hear me swearing. Because I never turned around in the cash cab and went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" There's no such thing as the Arcadian Sea. Do you want to rethink your answer, you dummies? So yeah, they never got a taste of real stand-up Ben.
Yeah.
But let's before we talk about that a little more, which I would love to do.
Mhm.
Let's address the question. I started in 1993. I moved to California. I had this long, crazy experience moving to California on a whim. I flew there overnight.
Whole show about that.
We could do a whole show about that.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, crazy story.
And we should.
But it landed me in Los Angeles with like no money and no anything. And eventually I got a job at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard, answering the phones. And that was crazy in itself. Like a lot of crazy stuff happened when I was there, you know.
Yeah.
But I worked there for a little while. I had no intention of being a comedian. I came out of a hotel next door, which is a famous hotel. It used to be called the Riot Hyatt. So all these bands would stay there and like destroy the place. Back in like the 70s and 80s, because they would be playing at the Whiskey and the clubs up the street a little bit. But I didn't get a job there. I had great hotel experience from back east here, but no one in LA gave a shit about that. If I didn't have, it didn't mean anything to them.
That's crazy.
I couldn't get a job, and people were desperate for jobs at that point. There was a hotel called the Mondrian, which is it's pretty funny because I would go there. I think it's the Mondrian that had a pool on the roof, and I would pretend to be a guest. I would dress up nicely. I would buy a newspaper. I would wear a watch, and I would walk through the lobby and take the elevator to the roof and go and sit by the pool and swim in the pool, and then go home when I was not a guest. I did it repeatedly because I just needed to have something good in my life because I was broke and I didn't have shit happening.
It's a really good idea.
It was. I don't think you can get away with it anymore probably as easily, but maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't hurting anybody, but I was tanning on the roof of a hotel and swimming in their pool and using their towels and their showers and all that stuff I wasn't paying for any of it.
I bet you were entertaining some of the guests there.
Some of the old ladies.
Yeah.
Like, you can let him stay as long as he likes. But so there was an ad one day in the paper. That's how long ago this was. I was looking at want ads in the newspaper. Some of you kids don't know what that is. And there was an ad for like 3 job openings at this giant hotel. 3. And I went. By the way, I just put up 2 by accident. When I said 3, this one got stuck. 3.
Oh my God.
Or as a German might
Like
do
2.
it, 3. Now that's from a movie, but it's not a movie quote. I guess it's kind of technically a movie quote. I think Kieran looks like he knows what it is.
Yeah, I know it.
But so I went. I was like, oh, well, there's a couple of jobs at this place, and they're like kind of lower tier jobs than what I've had. So I'll go and apply for one of those. And I went. There was a line around the building, 4 people deep. I mean, it's a city block thing. Like there had to be 300 people there for 3 jobs, and I was like, I'm not even going in there. Like, this is a zoo. I'm going to be here for 5 hours to not get a job or whatever. So I kept looking around. And I looked at the Riot Hyatt, and I went in there. I had an interview, and I was talking to them. And I came out afterwards. I didn't get the job. I knew I was going to get it. Or I didn't get it when I came out. And there were some guys standing in front of the Comedy Store, which I had never seen before. This weird black building with all these names painted on it in white. And I was like, what is that? And I went over and looked at it. I was like, the Comedy Store? And there were some guys standing there smoking, and I like started bullshitting with them. Next thing you know, the guy offers me a job. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just trying to get a job. I'm out here from Jersey I can't find a job. Just failed another job interview. And they're like, well, we need somebody to answer the phones. You have a good voice. And I was like, what's it pay? And they literally were like, it pays $3.50 an hour.
Wow.
Or maybe it was $5.50. I think it was $3.50. It was like nothing. Like you couldn't. It wasn't even enough then. Like now, you just couldn't do anything with it. But so I don't know if you guys know how much you guys know about it. You guys in the room or out in the world. But like comedy, stand-up comedy had a big boom in the '80s, and then it got overblown, and it was like everybody had a comedy room, and then it tanked again. And that's when I started. It was like right after the boom of the late 80s just went into the shitter. And so like I was going to these clubs and there was no one in the audience. There's like 8 people in the crowd. So a big part of working at the Comedy Store, and I had never even heard of or been into a comedy club before that. A big part of working there was like they'll give you, at the end of your shift, here's 2 drink tickets. Go sit in the crowd and we'll bring you a drink. So they would, like, the people that worked at the club would make up the audience so it seemed like there was a crowd. And so I started going and watching But I was like, I'm not going to have 2 beers. I'm going to save my drink tickets and have them all at the end of on the weekend and like have a night out instead of like,
So you were a disciplined drunk.
Yes, I guess so. I planned well.
We're crackling again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it's already gone. But so I would go and watch the shows, and after a while, I was like, you know what? I feel like I could do this. Like, maybe it's not a coincidence that I find myself sitting here. I'm watching these guys. I'm like, well, this is me. This is what I do. I'm the smart ass. Because I already had all these routines that I would do since I was a little kid. I wrote my first joke ever when I was 7 years old. It might be the worst joke anyone's ever written, but I really liked it. It was really dumb. It was, how old was King Tut when he died?
I don't know.
He wasn't. That was my first joke, and it's so indicative of my weird, subtle, esoteric sense of humor, even at that age. The joke is he wasn't old, he was young, he was 17, right?
Yeah.
So how old was King Tut when he died? He wasn't, and that was the whole joke, and I told
funny.
everyone I knew, and they just looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I was like, this will be my life. No, I didn't know it then, but like, so I was doing that all along. And then, I was the person who was making people laugh in my group of friends, in my family, whatever. I was doing that, and with a lot of different means. Some stuff I had heard other places, and that was an adjustment for me, realizing that I couldn't do the stuff that I would do to make my friends and family laugh. Some of that was other comedian stuff. It took me a little while to figure out that you can't do that stuff.
Right.
You're in the same realm as they are now. This is when I was early on, but
Yeah.
for that world to kind of become a reality and be in it is weird. There's a disconnect.
Yeah, it must be.
There's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
But so that's how I got into it. I was hanging around at the Comedy Store. I was working there. I was drinking there because I was on a serious budget, and they gave me free drinks. And I was watching shows. And then one night I had a few of my saved up drink tickets, and I started telling this long, crazy story of how I ended up in L.A. and at the club, which is the story. It's kind of ironic now that I didn't get into that because it was too long, and I've been talking about this for 20 minutes anyway. But I was telling that story, and the people that were in the room, which was the green room back then, they thought I was a comedian. The guy said, "How long have you been doing stand-up?" And I was like, "I just started." And Sparky is a howl, and he's making up for lost time. He's really getting into it this week. We love you, Sparkle Bark.
He thinks we're never coming back.
I know, right? It just seems forever to him.
Oh.
But so a guy, how long you been doing stand-up? And I said, I just started, which I had never done stand-up. And he said, a guy named Skip E. Lowe. He was like, you should do my show on Saturday. And I was like, no. No, thanks. And I left. And he was like, take my card. And I took his card, and then the next day I was like, man, I'm not doing anything. I told him I was a comedian. I'm like, let me see if I can come up with anything funny to say that I think might be funny, and I want to try it. So I started writing. I wrote a few things, and then I tried it. I called the guy. I said, yeah, I'll do it. And I got a laugh out of the gate.
Nice.
I said I was really nervous coming up here until I remembered from the Brady Bunch to just picture all of you in your underwear. And there's this big, heavy guy, and I go, and you look fantastic in those panties, sir. And I got a laugh, which I guess it's funny because you guys just laughed. And I'm telling you, Raphael, I knew right then.
Yeah.
When the crowd laughed like that first time, I was like, I am done. This is what I am here to do. And this is what I'm going to... It felt like putting on a pair of shoes that finally fit or something. Like I was like, okay, this is a really, really weird place for me to suddenly feel like I belong and fit in, and like this is for me. But man, I really did.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, as they say. But yeah, so that's how and when I got into stand-up comedy, and we'll share the rest of that crazy other story maybe another time. I don't know.
Nice. But I mean, that's the key to life, isn't it? If you can find something like that makes you feel and do it.
I feel
on a regular basis.
so very
If you're lucky
fortunate.
enough.
Like the shit that I went through that put me there,
Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm.
It's like it's really crazy that I ended up at that place at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Those old days at the Comedy Store. I was riding my bike back and forth because it's all I had.
Wow.
I got my first paycheck and I bought a burrito and a 10-speed bike
Nice.
used from someplace, and then I could get around. I remember I didn't have a bank account. I had to cash checks at a check cashing place,
Wow.
and they took such a high percentage, and it looked like a crime scene every time you went in there. I was like, oh my God, I was like glad I wasn't making very much money, because if you went in there and cashed a big check, you'd probably get rolled in the parking lot, because everybody's watching and everybody in there is desperate.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ugly, man. Things have changed for the better.
Yeah.
I have a little something to share with you guys that I made that I thought you guys might like.
Cool.
I'm clapping for myself.
For yourselves.
Yes, for myself, for both of me. I'd like a little musical interlude. I feel like it adds a lot. So, and I have fun making them. So I'm going to keep those coming, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And we've been on here for quite a while now. What are we at, about 75 minutes, 80 minutes, something like that?
Something like that.
There's a couple things we haven't done yet.
Mm.
Is there something that you're wanting to say, babe?
Not that I can remember.
Okay, cool. I love that. It's a mysterious answer. Like, maybe, but I don't remember what it is. Is there something you're wanting to say? Probably.
Probably.
But I don't know what it is.
But my memory's not good enough to know.
We forgot to go up the hill and say hello to the wise old man on the mountain.
You ever get heartburn, like a real bad heartburn? Like right in the heart area? I guess that's always where it is, because they call it heartburn. Or why would they call it heartburn if it was like in your foot? You ever get really bad heartburn in your foot? You're like, no, stupid old man on the hill. Because you don't get heartburn in your foot, you get it in your heart. That's why they call it heartburn. Man, you think you know something with eyebrows like that. That's like you guys saying to me, I'm saying. But you ever get heartburn like that? Because, man, I didn't even eat nothing, you know what I mean? I didn't eat nothing, I still got heartburn. Like my heart's burning, but there's no reason. I didn't put anything in there. So I don't know what it's reacting to, because I didn't do nothing. Like I didn't give it nothing to react with in order to give me the heartburn, you know what I mean? Did you ever get that? What do you call it? What do you call it? Agita. You call it agita? It's a heartburn, agita, the same thing. Maybe it's anxiety related. Maybe I was a little nervous. You know, it was the first time up on the hill in a while. And whenever I come up here in this outfit, everybody's like, oh, hey, there's that guy. I guess he lives here. Let's ask him stuff. And, you know, honestly, between you and me, I don't know nothing. So I get a little bit nervous. So maybe that's why I got a little bit of agita, because I'm a little nervous about things that you guys are going to ask me. I don't know answers to things, you know. I just have the outfit. All right? So leave me alone. That guy is really filled with sage advice every time. Every time we check in with him. I'm so glad we didn't forget to pay him a visit. Is there anything else that we didn't get to? I don't know. Oh yeah, there is. It's time for Sunday, people. This is a part of the show where we honor and celebrate the bizarre holidays that seem to exist pretty much every day of the week. Every week of the year, it's Sunday. So what do you got, babe? We got some weird, wacky, wild... No, that's the news. Do you have some, some weird holidays today?
I still do have some weird, wacky, wild holidays.
Excellent. Everything you do on this show is weird, wacky, and wild.
That's just me, babe.
Wednesday is Sunday, by the way. We do it on. We do Sunday on Wednesdays. We know it's Wednesday, but this whole thing began on a Sunday, and we're keeping it that way.
Nice.
So Wednesday is Sunday at the Big News Show.
It is indeed.
I think I know one of them today, right? It's got to be.
Go for it.
It's got to be Groundhog Day, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Couldn't leave it out.
Feels like the same day over and over and over again.
Yeah, so we have Groundhog Day, and do you know what the result of Groundhog Day was?
I do not.
Punxsutawney Phil did indeed see his shadow.
He saw his shadow?
Yeah.
So wait, what does that mean?
That means we have 6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter. That little
Yeah.
bastard. Does he have any idea the weight? Just don't look. Punxsutawney Phil.
Yep.
I had a friend who used to call me and go, do you know if the woodchuck saw his asshole or not? Like, that's not how it works. All right, so 6 more weeks of winter. Thanks,
Yeah.
Punxsutawney Phil.
I think I could have told him that.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. I didn't think we were out of the woods with the winter yet.
No, it's been
Not by
so
any stretch.
cold.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Much colder than
Up at
last year.
Gobbler's Knob.
Yep. Okay, and so we have that. We have Extraterrestrial Culture Day. Probably not one you're as familiar with.
I'm sorry, Extraterrestrial Culture Day.
Yes.
We're to celebrate the cultures of extraterrestrials.
Yeah, to honor all past, present, and future extraterrestrial visitors.
Okay, well, there's only the future ones, really. We're going to bring that right down to one segment. I'm pretty sure there haven't been any actual extraterrestrial
I love the wording of
visitors.
this.
So the people out there are like flipping out at that. Like, what?
This
Are
one's
you saying my life is a lie? I was taken.
This one's actually official.
Great.
This one was passed in a bill in New Mexico. The General Assembly passed.
Right, Roswell.
The House Memorial 44, which established this as being a holiday.
Extraterrestrial
It's not a holiday,
Culture
off,
Day.
Yeah.
So, like, we're supposed to know something about these cultures if we're to celebrate them.
Celebrate and honor all past, present, and future extraterrestrial visitors in ways to enhance relationships among all citizens of the cosmos, known and unknown.
Citizens of the cosmos.
It's interesting that we're enhancing
Wow.
relationships with people that we don't,
I think we should
or
make
beings that we don't know.
Right, that don't exist to our knowledge.
Yeah.
I think we should make this day a chance for other beings of the cosmos to voice their dissatisfaction with the results of the Miss Universe pageant over the last 500 years. You didn't even include no one from our entire galaxy was included.
Yeah, it's pretty biased.
Everybody from Earth, yo. They're all from Earth. Okay, Extraterrestrial Culture Day.
And the last one I'm giving you is Laugh and Get Rich Day.
Oh, shit. I love both of those things.
Yeah, I thought it was a really appropriate one.
If one could lead to the other.
For the first show of the podcast format.
Yeah, Laugh and Get Rich Day.
Yeah.
Is there any history? Is there any...
It's about enjoying all the benefits that laughter brings. It can elevate mood, lower stress and blood pressure, strengthen immunity. And they say that it makes us rich because health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
But an interesting fact, it can contribute to our financial gains by enriching our professional lives because those who laugh...
Certainly helps with mine.
It does. But those who laugh often tend to be happier and happy workers are more likely to be productive and liked by their co-workers and promoted.
Yeah.
So
laugh.
yeah.
Laugh, and the world laughs with you.
Yep.
Sneeze, and it's goodbye, Seattle.
Ooh, nice movie quote. Interesting. What is that one?
That's a good one. I know
That's a
I know
good one.
several more from the same. Let's see if people will chime in, and then maybe I'll reveal that after we do. I'll reveal the results of that movie quote after we do the Sunday, I guess. Or should I just tell them now, since we're about to wrap up the show?
I don't know. Could we tell people in the comments if they got it right or not?
Or we could tell them next show.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Have people comment now, and then by next show you'll know their answer.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Now that's a quote too. Curiouser and curiouser.
Oh.
Earlier we did, it was kind of a little thing. That one, is that not what you were thinking of?
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was. I did this, and then I did a German would do it this way. It's from
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah.
Ah.
They give themselves away. They're pretending to be
They're pretending
Nazis.
to be German.
Yeah, but they do everything just right, except they do the little symbol for three a
Right.
way that a German would never do.
Oh, goodness.
And then, of course, they immediately pay the price.
Mm.
A battle ensues.
I
That's
did
a
not
fun movie. It's so violent.
I didn't like the ending of that film.
I was disappointed in the ending.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't all. Well, you know what? We shouldn't give away the ending. Maybe it'd be very inglorious of them.
we should do a speaking of movies on that one sometime.
We should start doing Speaking of Movies again. We are considering it, you guys. It's a podcast that Emma and I
We
used
might
to do.
have done that one, actually.
I don't think we did.
I can't remember which movies we did.
I don't think we did that one, but we certainly could. There's
Mhm.
plenty to be said about that film.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I love the concept. I wasn't crazy about the way it ended. Same as you.
Speaking of movies is a podcast Ben and I used to do.
It was
Just
a
for a
cool.
little while.
It was a cool concept. We're thinking about bringing it back. It was like watch and then listen. It was like speaking of movies, first watch, then listen. So we tell you ahead of time the movie we're going to watch. You watch it too, and then you listen to the show afterwards while we're talking about the movie that we all, in theory, have just watched.
Mm.
I think we should bring it back, honestly. And we are set up to do it really
Yeah,
well right
yeah.
now. So look for that in the future, folks. Or listen for it. And now I forgot my other movie quote that I just did, and you didn't know what it was from. I was saying I was going to tell people next week anyway. So maybe I can watch the show and remember what it was.
Sneeze and the world.
Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Sneeze, and it's goodbye, Seattle. That's the quote.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll tell you what movie that's from on next week's program.
All right.
And for now, let's get back to Sunday. It's Groundhog Day. It's Extraterrestrial Culture Day.
Yep.
And Laugh and Get Rich Day.
Yep.
These are all good days, I think. Well, the
Nice.
middle one is just very vague and confusing and weird. But that's okay. It's time for Sunday, everybody. Buckle up.
This weekend, one day only. Wake up and live the same day over and over again until you try to kill yourself by jumping off an opera house, because it's Groundhog Day. If that little bastard sees his shadow, it's going to be cold for another month and a half. So keep your fucking eyes closed, Phil. Now go out and learn something about extraterrestrial culture and try to appreciate it, even though there isn't any, because it's an official holiday. Then laugh until you get rich.
It's like an afterthought. I even tried to like get into it quicker because I knew it was going to be the shorter music. But that was very fun, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been The Big News Show with me, Ben Bailey, as well as
Emma Gleeson.
and Kieran New Guy. You can say it. Go ahead.
Kieran Brennan.
He's like, I don't want to be New Guy. I have a last name.
I can be new guy. I'm whatever you guys want.
New Guy. You're New Guy Kieran Brennan.
And new guy. Kieran
Slightly
Brennan.
less new, newer than new, not as new as he used to be. Oh,
New
and
formula.
happy birthday, Doo-Doo.
Yes.
Guys, come and see me, please. If you're anywhere near where I'm going to be, come out and see a live show. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's Oklahoma City, St. Louis, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Detroit on the book so far. Looking to add a few more, like Spokane and Tacoma and maybe a couple dates down in Florida, and like there's a lot of stuff coming in, guys. So we'll keep you up to date on that. That is it for this episode.
Please comment on the videos. I miss everybody's comments coming in, so we're gonna be looking for them. On the videos, and we'll have more time to actually read them, which will be really cool. And
people who are new to coming to YouTube to watch the show, like and subscribe, please. Then you'll get a notification when the next one is posted.
And that's where I take my viewer questions from. So if you want to submit a viewer question for an upcoming show, put it in there.
That's the place to do it.
On the most recent one.
YouTube, the Tube of Utes. That's where we're going to largely exist, there in the world of podcasts. If you guys are listening for the first time, thank you very much. Subscribe. These are going to be coming out every week. We can't wait to keep making them for you. If you are some of the people that have been listening, check out the YouTube video too, because I think you're going to like it. The parts where there's audio, that's fun. There's also video to go with them, and you guys, I think, will appreciate that. And here's one now to close out the show while I juggle chickens before they've hatched.
They hatched! Oh my God! The chickens hatched! And I will juggle them now that they have hatched. You can juggle your chickens after they've hatched. You can count them after they've hatched. You can do whatever you like with your chickens once they've hatched. Beforehand, don't do any of it. They say don't juggle your chickens beforehand. I really suck at this. Come on out, babe. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. Thanks for listening. This has been the Big News Show episode, this one. Hope you guys had a good time. Next week on the show, a lot of the same stuff. We're going to be live from Vic's Bar. We're going to... Boxing Ben's, of course. I'll be fighting myself again. Emma's Weird, Wild, Wacky Wednesday, Weekly World News. Movie quotes. All the stuff. All the good stuff that you guys keep coming back for. Viewer questions. Sunday. And much, 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 much more. Probably not much more than that. That joke's getting old. But, it's the Big News Show. We'll see you next week.